Hey, how's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you some tips and tricks in Schedule 1 that I've found over the course of my time playing the game. Without further ado, let's get into them. So the first trick I'm going to be showing today revolves around the workers. If you want to save a little space in your grow up, you can actually route their beds to a separate area on the map. So currently I have all 5 of these workers routed to the motel. I'll quickly go show you their beds in there just so you can see it. We go in here, the motel. You can see I got 5 beds placed in here with all their money, so that they'll continue working for me. Now I find this pretty practical because you can have more space to either grow more plants or products, or you could use it for storage, which is kind of like what I'm doing here. You can also place beds and many other items in the businesses that you buy. I'll quickly show you that I have a couple beds in Taco Tickler here. They're just shown here for my workers. I haven't assigned them yet, but that's where they'll live eventually. So yeah, that's the first trick, is routing the workers' beds to a separate location to save storage for other useful things you might want to use in those buildings. So one tip that a lot of you guys may know is that the van, aka the Viper, comes with 16 extra slots of storage, which is really handy whenever you want to be transporting lots of items or products. The van saves you a lot of time running back and forth since you only have 8 slots available to you on the player, so this essentially just triples what you can hold. But one trick you may not know with the Viper is that if you bring it over to a loading bay as you're buying items, you can put the items directly in the back of the van without running it back and forth out of the shop by just parking it up in the loading bay. So here it is here. I'm going to park my car. I'm going to go and buy some supplies off of this lady here. And this option here, load into vehicle, you want to make sure it's ticked. As you can see, I purchased my items, and they go directly into the back of the truck. That's useful if you're buying a lot of bulk items and you just don't want to run it back and forth. Here's not too bad, but if we make our way over to the warehouse, you can see where it might become a little more beneficial. Using this tip becomes a lot more useful at night, in the case where you can go to the warehouse here and just pull out to the door here. It will open up. You can just drive your van straight into the building onto the loading bay. And again, you can directly just load all your product into the back of the van by talking to the seller here, making sure this is ticked, and buying your items. This is a great way to not get spotted by police at night whenever it's past curfew, as this is a hot spot right outside downtown. This will ensure a quick and efficient way to transport items without the hassle of the police. Another tip is I recommend getting the golden skateboard as fast as you can, as it's a pretty reliable source of transportation, and it's actually quite fast. I think it's probably one of the fastest things in the game. And if you're noticing that you're going a little slower than you would anticipate, you may just be paddling the board like so, when you actually gain more speed on the board and jumping. It seems to just compound over time, and you can get some pretty crazy speeds. I don't know if strafing affects it, but sometimes it feels like it does. Yeah, you can get a lot of speed going if you just, work your way around the map. You can see how fast you can get. The next trick I have for you is that the dealers in the warehouse can actually be moved outside of the warehouse so that you can buy their services outside of the hours normally allowed. Now to do this, all you want to do is buy a weapon of some sort. You don't even need ammo for it, all you gotta do is have it. And once you aggro the dealer, they'll start to follow you. And what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna lead these dealers all the way to your base, or wherever you'd like to have them. And then once you get them to your location, which is the docks for me, I am going to knock him out, hopefully, and not die. Come here, boy. Come here, boy. Come here. Once you knock them out, you're just going to want to pick them up and place them wherever you'd like them to be for the rest of the game. I'm just going to put him over here off the road. Now that you've placed him where you want him to be, he's going to remain here for the rest of the game until you quit to the main screen with this button here. You can sleep and save the game as long as you don't quit to the actual main screen. The dealers will remain where you place them. Now that was the arms dealer. I'm just going to show you that it works for the other 2 dealers. So as you can see, when I go up to Oscar here, if I pull the gun out on him, he's going to run away. And all you're going to want to do is catch him early. You're going to want to punch him until he's knocked out. And you're going to want to drag him all the way back to the docks. Aim the gun at Manny. He'll aggro you as well. You You're just going to want to lead them back to the docks, just like you did with Oscar. Make sure you stay kind of near him, just so he's always tracking you, and you don't end up accidentally leaving him behind, because he will end up going back to the warehouse. Now that we knocked him out, we're going to go place him where we want him to be. I'm just going to go place him over here. And as you can see, when I go to sleep the next day, he should still be in the same spot that we knocked him out. And just to show you that they're still accessible, even though it's not 6 p.m. currently in game. You can see if I want to hire an employee, he'll let me do so. There's no issue there. Now this tip is great because it speeds up the game, so you don't have to wait until 6 p.m. every day to access their items if you don't want to make a delivery. So overall, it just cuts down waiting, so you can use that time for doing more productive things. Now the next two tricks are pretty well known, but just in case you haven't seen them, if you make your way down to the basketball court, which is over by Miss Ming's sweatshop here, if you grab one of the basketballs and you look straight down, it'll start kind of bugging out. Once you have it in your hands, you're just going to want to look down at the ground, and it will kind of start bugging out like this on screen. Once the ball's kind of bugging out like this, you're just going to want to hold the movement key that allows you to go backwards. So in this case, I'm on PC, so it's going to be S. And once you do so, you'll notice that we start taking flight. Now, this is not really useful, but you can use it for certain scenarios, like getting away from the police. If they're chasing you and you have a wanted or dead or alive status, you can just fly up into the air as far as you want, and they'll lose sight of you, and you'll be good. As well as you can use it to reach some cool spots on the map, like if you want to go on top of some buildings, you can just do so like this. And you can actually bring the ball with you even when you fall, so you can just keep going around wherever you want. The next trick in today's video is also quite known, so I'll keep it brief. It's another sort of bug just to kind of fly or get up in the air. So all you're going to want to do is find a spot on the map that has some kind of ledge up against a roof where you can just spam your jump but not actually jump on your screen. But you'll notice that if you just spam this for, 10 seconds or so, and you kind of just walk off the edge whilst jumping, you will, you'll fly up into the air. You'll go pretty high. If you do that for a long time, you will go infinitely higher than what I'm doing right now. So I suggest not doing it too long unless you really want to be up here for a while. And we landed back where we started. So yeah, those are just some tips and tricks I thought I'd share with you in Schedule 1. I'll have a bunch more in the future, but these are just a few that I wanted to get out there because I personally didn't know them. So once I learned them, I kind of wanted to share them with you guys. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I'm hoping in the future I can upload more videos on this game because I'm currently playing it a lot and I enjoy it. Hopefully all of you stay well, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye.